Release your glory. Release your power. Release your glory. Release your power. Whoa! He's releasing it right now. 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 I feel miracles. Woo! I want you to look at somebody and say, I feel miracles. Woo! I feel miracles. What did the old see under my house? I feel miracles. Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel a miracle. What is a miracle? It's something supernatural that only God can do. Oh! Oh! We believe in you, Jesus. 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 We still believe in your word, oh God. We still believe in your promises, oh God. We believe in you, Jesus. He's ready and he's able to perform. He's ready and he's able to perform. He's ready and he's able to perform. Woo! He's ready and he's able to perform. He's ready and he's faithful to perform. He's ready and he's loyal to perform. He's ready and he's accountable to perform. He's a man of his word. Woo! Now everybody lift up your worship right there to the God of miracles, to the God of healing. Come on, wherever you are, wherever you're sitting, wherever you're standing, just believe. Just begin to believe. Just begin to activate your faith. Come on, let's do it together. Come on, let's do it together. Come on, let's press in, let's push in. Come on, we both believe. We all believe. We're all in agreement. And we're believing God for your miracle, for your family, for your children, for anything that you believe in God for. We stand in agreement with you right now. And we believe God work a miracle. Woo! God work a miracle. Yeah! Come on. Come on. Woo! Hallelujah. 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 He said he's ready and he's able. He's ready and he's able. Woo! He's ready to do it just for you. He's ready to do it just for you. He's ready to do it just for you. Just for you. Just for
you. All right, everybody, come on in. It is time for maintenance. It is time for maintenance. This is a time for us to maintain so we can get throughout the week. Come on in. I need to see you right now. Come on in. And while you coming on in, let me know what you ate for breakfast this morning. Let's do something a little different. Let me know what you ate for breakfast this morning. Let me see what you ate because I'm a little hungry right now. Give me some inspiration. Let me see what you ate for breakfast this morning. Come on. Oh, Dr. Jamala had water this morning. There it is. He had water this morning. Come on in. It is time for maintenance. Well, it's your favorite media guy. your favorite media guy, Josh Dunston. And I have some amazing people with me this morning. Oh, good morning, Miss Keisha. Good morning. Oh, good morning, Melissa Malone. Good morning. Who else do I have? Jeff, I'm going to start with you. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Jeff Will. Listen, he said, what did we eat this morning? I ate air. So I haven't so I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to get down on some French toast and everything. But I'm excited to be on the maintenance call this morning, man. What's up, 3D Nation? What's going on?
Awesome. All right. The fragrance of the house. Lady T, introduce yourself. Hello, Lady T, can you hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. I'm Lady T. I am the executive pastor at the 3D Church, and I'm super excited to be able to be on with you guys here live on 3D Maintenance, where we are about to unpack something so amazing, and I am super excited to share this platform with some amazing people. I see Pastor Nevin. What's up?
Woo!
I also see Jeff Will. Oh, that's my co-host. We got some great things happening.
Ooh.
And I also see Brother J.R. Brown in the building. And of course, we have Jay Fresh. So we are about to get live today. So cannot wait.
All right. Awesome. So we're going to talk about something crazy this morning. We're going to talk about working your faith. Working your faith. Now, it's interesting that we're in the season of working our faith, because we went through a pandemic where we literally had to rely on faith. So I'm going to ask you, Dr. JR, how do you work faith?
Well, how you work faith is based on first your belief. So if you're believing for something, you're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to clock in. You're going to have to train for it. You're going to have to study for it. And you're going to have to straight up go in there with a reckless abandonment and be like, I'm finna do this. I'm finna work it until it manifests something. The reason why, Pastor John was preaching on Sunday, his point number 2 was working. Before I win, I'm finna work.
Yes, that's interesting that you say that, because the Bible definitely says faith without works is dead. And we at the 3D Church do believe in God for us, God with us, and God in us. And in order for us to do that, we have to have faith. But there's a specific kind of faith. Jeff Will, what kind of faith do we need to have?
You need to have that now faith. Like, now I'm about to go get it. Now I'm about to see it through. Now I'm about to strive to go get it. I'm not about to, I know the things that people done said and people done and what they said about my destiny and purpose. I know everything about that, but when I don't see it, I still got to activate it, just like JR said. I still got to prepare for it. And I think that now faith is the one that you, when it happens, you know that it exceeds your expectations. It exceeds everything that you've been planning and being ready for. So that now faith can get you where you need to get.
Yes, definitely. Now, I know the experience has a story about faith. Go ahead and tell us the story right quick.
Good morning, everybody. Pastor Nevin, pastor of experience at 3D Church. Listen, I mean, there is so much that you can talk about faith, but stories about faith, man, something amazing recently happened, man. My wife and I were having faith and made a faith move in order to move out of an apartment into a house. And there was moments when we were like, this is not working. The dollar, like, we've done what we were supposed to do, but the dollars are not adding up. The cents is not making sense and all the kind of stuff. But throughout the process, we kept believing God that he was going to make a way. He said it. He told us to do it, and then he supplied, and he definitely did more than we could expect. It was an amazing thing. And I tell everyone, and when I'm telling this testimony, I tell everyone, Like the way that I know it was God, he always leave blueprints or breadcrumbs to let you know it was him. We started this thing on Christmas and it ended on Easter, so there's no way you can't tell me that God did not do that. So that's me. Like, I believe that.
So you said something profound. You said that when it was not working, we just kept believing. How did you stay encouraged and work the faith when it didn't seem like everything was good?
Yep. So something that we must understand is that faith is a muscle, right? And so then as you start to use your faith, on the little things, you develop muscle memory. And you have to build up your faith. You just don't start off like believing God to move the mountain. Some of us get thrust into places where we have to believe God to move the mountain. But the Bible talks about mustard seed faith. If you could just give me this little bit, then I can move a mountain with it. And so sometimes we have to start believing God for small things first in order for not for him to show himself faithful, but for us to build up our ability to grow in faith. And so sometimes I have to believe, God, I just give you praise and have faith for to help me study for this paper, to help me study for this test, to help me for this little thing. And so as you begin to see God like doing the things that you are asking and praying for, all of a sudden you build your way up to God. I believe for the church. I believe for the house. I believe for the promotion. I believe for $1 million, whatever your it is. Once you start small, believing him for the small stuff so that you can build the muscle to be able to see the miraculous.
That is so good. That is so good. Dr. Jeff Will. So Pastor John was talking about David Wednesday and how much faith he had to have going up against Goliath. What kind of faith do you think he had?
The faith that he had was pretty much faith that had already been there, because he already had faith in his work. Well, first off, he had faith in his God first, and then he had faith in his work, because God had put that thing in him to go ahead and slay Goliath, because it was those things that he was doing when people didn't see him. Because when you are doing things that people are not seeing you, when you are preparing yourself, when you are working and you're working that muscle out, like Pastor Never said, that's the thing that gets you to the prepared. Well, that's the thing that prepared you for you to be shown out into the spotlight and everything like that. Because he would, like the story, he was tending to the sheep, doing this and doing X, Y, Z. He was doing this, and he was still being under the covenant of God and still being under the covenant of whatever leadership that he was, until it was time for somebody of his stature to go ahead and do something.
Yes.
Man, can I add to that, Jay Fresh?
Yes, you
I just want to add to that, man. I heard Jeff Will say something so big. It's behind the scenes. It's when nobody can see you. Faith starts working in obscurity. Right? Faith is, and so sometimes, and what frustrates us, because we are a microwave generation of I want God to do it now, and I can't wait to put it on Instagram so everybody can see it. And so faith starts happening again. It starts building in obscurity when nobody sees you. And so don't get frustrated behind the curtain and stop believing God for the big thing. Like, believe God behind the curtain. Yeah, don't nobody know your name yet, but keep believing in God, because when he does, he's going to bring you out in a way where it's like, oh my God. And one thing about God is whatever he does, he's going to make sure that he gets the glory for it. So he's going to do it in a way where I am strengthening you and building your faith, but you're not going to get the glory for it. All you can do is point to it and say, it was God that did this. I just believed in him. I don't believe in the thing. I believe in the God that can do it. And then I let him do it.
You hear what he said? He said, I don't believe in the thing. I believe in the God.
I believe in the God. Woo! Now, Dr. Brown, I got a question for you, because I know you about to go in. David slew the giant. After he slew the giant, he had to go back into war. How do you keep that pace?
This is how you keep the faith. James 1:3 says it like this: because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. The working faith has the ability to produce something. So even in the midst of before the elevation, and I slay the giant, I still go back and do what I was doing. Because that place produced something for me before I got to the stage, before I got the mic in my hand. That particular place, I can still slay giants and still sweep the floor at the same time.
So what you're telling me, ooh, Jesus. So what you're saying is, stay faithful at the position that you're at. Stay faithful at the position that you're at, because even though you're in line for the promotion, until it happens, you still have to stay faithful. Ooh, somebody needed to hear that.
In due season. Okay.
In due season.
Exactly. Because
so, Jeff, well, how does time match in with that? Because we're talking about faith. How does time match in with the faith?
Time is so important because, all right, Pastor Nevin just said this, in this microwavable society. If I heat up and I just go out, and this is one of the things that I hate. If I heat something up and I put it on 2 minutes from leftovers and I take it out, the outside might be hot, but the inside still cold. So if I'm not really ready yet, somebody gonna tell. God already knows when you're not ready yet. You know when you're not ready yet too, but you always want to thrust yourself out there because you appear to be ready. Ain't nothing like putting that Salisbury steak, that dinner up in that microwave, and then the outside looking good, the gravy looking good, the top looking good. But once you bite down into it, once you get into the inside of what's up in there, it's just cold. Ain't nothing up in there. And guess what you got to do? You got to put it back in the microwave. And you got to start back over again. The timing has to always be right. Ain't nothing worse than doing that. Even if I got to be packed away for 10 years, what happens if I got to be packed away for 10 years? I have to be working my faith all 10 years. I got to sweep the floor all 10 years. I got to wipe the windows there all 10 years. I got to believe God, because when my time comes, I got to be ready for it.
Ooh, Jesus. So I've got one more story I want to ask you guys about, because this just reminds me of the promise that God gave to Joshua. Now, mind you, God gave a promise to Joshua that he was going to lead the children into the promised land, but they had to wait for 40 years. How do you keep the faith after 40 years? You ain't as young as you used to be. You ain't as kicking as you used to be. How do you keep the faith that God's going to do what he said after 40 years?
Let me jump in right here. You got to think about it. The reason why they were in the wilderness is because of their complaint.
Oh my.
And God literally had to take out a generation for the other to be raised up. So their children received the blessing that was actually given to their parents. So I had no choice but to watch my parents complain, but still yet hold on to, before Isaiah said, they that wait upon the Lord, I still was yet waiting.
Woo, woo. Well, even in that's that experience, go ahead, Jeff.
Right there.
But even within that experience, how do you not get weary in well doing?
Listen, I think, Jesus, that's so good. But we're wanting God to give us 40-year experience faith. But what can I ask you, or let me say that I need God to give me day-to-day faith, right? And so if God can give me faith just enough for today, and then I wake up tomorrow knowing that he can give me just enough faith for tomorrow, before you know it, you have reached your destination and you have grown in your faith. The reality of it is, and they talk about, and I want to use the same idea they talk about in business, how do you eat an elephant? Most of us are trying to devour an elephant all at one time. We want the entire lesson at one time. We want the entire blessing, the entire everything at one time, but you can't eat it whole. You have to eat it bite by bite, a little bit at a little bit. And so with that, the same thing with faith. If you can have faith just for today, if you can have faith tomorrow, just for tomorrow, before you know it, time passes quicker than you think it does. I don't know about y'all, but I'm in a position of, like, it was time for my 10-year anniversary from high school, I looked back and was like, where did 10 years go and how did I get here? And that's the same way that time works. But what I love about God is he is outside of time. So he says that 1 year, 1 day for him is as 1,000 years for us. And so what happens is that when we are operating on our time, it's seeming like, oh my God, this is taking forever. But God is like, oh, this has just been a light moment. This has just been a quick moment. But guess what? I'm about to still do it. So start doing stuff, plan in decades, but walk every day, faith by faith, by the moment. Plan in decades, plan in long periods of time, but believe God on a moment by moment, day by day. Believe him for the momentary, for every moment, for every day. Believe him on a day by day basis.
You gotta also keep the main thing. Pastor Nevin just said it. When I take my eyes off of God, that's when everything starts to go down here, and I start relying on my own faith. And myself, I can't get it done myself. I'ma always need God. What happened when Peter stepped out of the boat and he sunk? He started walking. Okay, I got this. But I'm starting to realize when I take my eyes off God and I start to rely on myself, I'm gonna start to sink. So that's what happens with most of us. We always try to rely on what we can do. Once we get a little bit of freedom off that, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead.
That is good. That's good.
It is good.
I'm gonna tap this and get out of here. Tap that out. But I'm gonna get out of here. But there's a moment. Do you remember Abraham and Sarah in the Bible, or they were Abram and Sarai at a particular moment where, and we have to, as humans, resist the urge to get involved when God is working. Because what Sarah did was she got involved and was like, "Oh my God, this is taking too long. So what I am going to do is now give you my servant." What was happening is that Sarah wanted to get pregnant so bad. God said, "I promise you, if you trust me, I'm gonna have you gonna have a baby." And she was like, "God, I'm getting too old. I'm going to give you my homegirl." Can I say that? I'm going to give you my servant. Listen, do your thing with her. And so what happened is it erupted in a seed of disobedience. And so what happened is that now everybody is frustrated because you tried to get in and make something happen. You tried to play God. And so we have to resist the urge to do God's job. God already knows what he's doing. He's able and he's faithful to perform. I can hear Pastor LaShawn in the back of my head. So you don't have to do God's job. If you just do your job, if you just stay faithful to what God told you to do, he's going to do the rest. It doesn't matter how long it takes. God is going to.
I'm gonna ask everybody a question.
Go ahead,
Pastor Nevin just went out. How do I maintain the faith when everybody around me is winning and I ain't win yet?
Ooh, that's good. That is so
You know
good.
what?
Go ahead, Bill.
You know what? You have to still run your race. Stop looking to the left and to the right and run your race. Because when it boils down to it, we all gonna win. No matter if they winning season is before mine or after mine, we all gonna win. So I can't compare. Hey, they ain't already got the house right there. They got the Benz. They got all this stuff. But when is it my turn? Your turn is your due season. But you gotta wait upon me to let me do it for you.
See, God has been dealing with me with comparisons, and it's easy to compare nowadays because we often look at the microwave society or Instagram or so on and so forth, and all on Instagram they show you what they want you to see, not what they really are going through. And so we often get into a season of comparing the wins versus comparing the lifestyle. And what we need to really do is just run the race and keep your eyes focused. There is something that they did in English times whenever they would ride in a carriage. See, the horses that they would ride would have to have blindfolds so they could stay focused. Because if they did not stay focused, they would veer off or get distracted and jump the carriage off. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that sometimes you have to put your visors on and get out all the distractions in order for God to move in your life and you can stay focused on your race.
Woo! Man, that's crazy. Jay Fresh, can I tell you, and this blessed me, I'm talking about the way that God dropped this nugget in my heart. Your blessing is custom fit, right? So you can't be wearing other people's blessing. What God has for you is custom fit. So there's no reason for us to want and desire what other people have, because I'm going to only shine in the arena that God put me in. Your blessing is custom fit. And the interesting thing is that when God opens the door, the window, the shade, whatever it is that you've been behind, listen, people are going to see you and the gifting and the talent and the whatever it is that God has placed in you. Listen, you can't, was it David, Jamarla, that said, listen, Saul, I can't wear your armor. I can't wear this. I don't know nothing about this. I can't fool with that. Listen, you want me to go out there with all this stuff on, but I'm going out there with a slingshot. I'm going out with what I know. And when you go out there with what you know and not what other people will try to put stuff on you and then make you operate and have faith because they did. Mama wants you to be this and daddy wants you to be that. Listen, if you have faith to believe that God has called you to what he's called you to and operate in that, then when you operate in yourself, listen, your blessing is custom fit just for you. Listen, we have a tailor. Matter of fact, your blessing is tailor-made.
Tailor-made. I was just
tailor-made,
because too many people try to put on everybody else's clothes, and you don't even know, man, your blessing might be big enough to bust the seams out what they got, and you up here trying to put on somebody else's clothes. I mean,
Oh, Jesus. We used to live in an era, and I know some of y'all know about the 99 and the 2000s where we used to have nothing but baggy pants. Where they were two sizes too big.
Backing it up.
They were two sizes too big. And now we live in a custom fit season. We live in a skinny jean season. Come on. So that basically means that this skinny jean season is something that's going to get you into a form-fitting blessing. A form-fitted blessing. My goodness. So Dr. Jamarla, before we close up, what do you have any last remarks about working your faith?
I'll say this. Your testimony is your testimony. And the reason why you've been through what you have been through is for whoever's assigned to hear your voice, whoever is assigned to see you, they're about to see your testimony. So when they see it, they gonna know that our situation might be similar. They're not exact, but I can still overcome because I see them. So I'm gonna work all of my faith.
Jeff Will, what do you have to say?
Man, at the end of the day, your faith is going to carry you to whatever path that you're on. Like Jamarla just said, and I like that. You might have similar things, similarities on your path, but it ain't the exact thing. You got to stay in your lane. I like that. That's one thing about this whole movement that I love. I love every time. Stay in your lane. Don't worry about what everybody else doing. Listen, it is not a sprint. It's a marathon. You gonna get it. Just keep the faith in between time. I'm telling you, it's gonna rock.
Experience, what do you have to say?
Listen, what I got, man, is that your faith will not fail. The reason is that your faith will not fail, that Jesus said that I prayed for you, that your faith, the enemy wants to sift you like wheat. That means that, listen, there was all kind of discouragement is going to come. There is all kind of hell that's going to come in trying. Why would the enemy allow you to attain your purpose without there being a struggle? So with that being the case, Jesus has already prayed for you. So if he's already prayed for me and greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world, then fam, I'm in good company. I'm good. Because God got me. And that's the end of the story. How they say, period.
The women put that in the comments. Y'all put that in the comments.
Yeah, period.
Put that in the comments.
Period, boo. Period.
Yes. So faith is always going to stay with you regardless. I want y'all to get this in your mind in this maintenance, that even though you're working the faith and even though times get weary, we still need to stay steadfast. And I'm telling you, the blessing is on the way. The blessing is on the way. And so we want you guys to get more of this. We definitely want you guys to get more of this. And the way that you can get more of this is if you're new here, definitely like the Facebook page that you are watching or the YouTube page. Please subscribe to that you are watching. That's how you're going to get more of this maintenance. That's how you're going to get more of the messages that Pastor John gives. And also, for those of you who don't believe in the social media situation and actually want to come into the building, we are right at 2244 Panola Road, right in the wonderful city of Lithonia. We just call it the 3D Church. So we definitely want to invite you guys in to the 3D Church, 3D Nation congregation. We appreciate all of you guys, and we are definitely out of here. Please get ready to maintain as we get ready for Jesus.
They put all the preachers on here today, Lord. Love y'all, man.
Love y'all.
That was so dope.